Hello, hello. It is dark already at 7 o'clock because it is already October and the sun is going down very early already. And that is kind of sad because I like the long days making videos outside in the garden. And today I got caught on Facebook. I wanted to make a video outside, and then I got caught up on Facebook talking to hundreds and hundreds of people. My gosh. Not noticing how the sun behind me is slowly descending behind the horizon. And it's very interesting, the conversations. I met some amazing people. I met a really, really beautiful woman on the internet, and a beautiful woman from LA, a model type of woman. And it's very nice to talk to her. And I met a whole lot of guys from around the whole world. And most of them, the vast majority, are very religious, from different religions. And that is what they have learned in their lives. They have not learned anything else, that their news are completely censored in regards to the terrorism and all of this, because when they are from Islamic countries, they are not allowed to hear about the terrorism that is caused by Muslims. So, because then that could turn them against their religion, and so that is all censored. It's all controlled, what they see and what they don't see. And it's very shocking for me to read this, that people have absolutely no idea about what is going on in Sweden, particularly about the rapes, the murders, the mass rapes and mass murders conducted by Islamic State people on teenage girls from Sweden that are naive, that are very liberal, that are very trusting, and what they're doing to these incredibly innocent beings. And this one girl from Germany, and it just blew me away, the story. It just made me collapse. I cried very, 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 very hard over this. What they did to that German girl. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What kind of people are out there. And that's why I make videos. Because, and that's why I talk to people. You know, if we don't talk to each other, then how can things get better? They can't. It's impossible. It will cost me my life one day, probably. I'll be shot by some extremist. But you know what? Until then, I have some interacting to do. I have some talking to do, and some video making and art making, and reaching out to the world and talking to you all, talking to you from the heart, talking to you as a volunteer activist, because if I don't do it, then I will be partly responsible for the Cold War between people. If I make these videos, even if no one sees it, at least I made the videos, okay? At least I reached out to the world. My husband's against that. He says, no, that's too risky. What if some crazy person comes? Well, if I go by that, then I can't interact with people at all anymore if I go by that. And there are a lot of crazy people out there. Yeah. But you know what? I talk to them. I do. I talk to everyone. I don't care who they are. I talk to them and I tell them the truth. I tell them what the truth is. I tell them that religion is not the truth. And I don't do this to be I don't do this to for some self-promoting egoic reasons. My ego always gets a little tickled by this too. But I don't let it. I do this because I deeply care. I deeply care. It's a little bit like a chemical reaction. But this is like garlic on a wound. I am like garlic on a wound, on a wounded mind. And so use that raw garlic on your wounds, literally and metaphorically. Hang some garlics into your room. That's what people did during the Middle Ages. That's a very old European custom to do. They did this to chase away evil spirits. And for many it was probably just an idea, just as religion is just an idea in the head. But garlic does things. Garlic really does things. And I don't know, I think most people don't really realize this, and I think people didn't really know that in the past either, that garlic really does some things for us. In our bodies, it is metaphysical, and it does things also energetically. So, because garlic is, it literally sizzles away untruth. It sizzles away the ego, it sizzles away infection, bacteria, pathogens that don't belong there. Even parasites are sizzled away by garlic. So if you want a cure for parasites, garlic in larger amounts will do it. And also diatomaceous earth, like a tablespoon of diatomaceous earth powder mixed in a cup of water. Drink that every day. That's what I do. And we do that for Papa Dog too. So we mix that into a cereal for him or into a water solution dog food. We have the Honest Kitchen is a dog food powder that consists of only whole food, real good, without any toxins, without any byproducts. It's completely pure. And we mix that like a cereal for him. And then we put diatomaceous earth in it and kelp seaweed for the teeth. And that works very well. And I make myself a garlic blend with garlic and turmeric and ginger and ivy sometimes, and celery. Some celery tastes amazing, and parsley is very good for you. And any kind of vegetable you can find is it's a superfood. So very healing and energizing for the whole body. It's completely energizes and purifies and renews your cells. And it heals every illness there is. And that is the truth. I'm speaking the truth. The pharma industry does not want people to know that. And they get very mad. They send assassinators, and they send infiltrators, and they send middlemen. It's usually men, so that's why the word fits. They send middlemen. Women are not as likely to do it. So they send, but maybe some are middle women, yeah, with the middle finger. middle finger people that are sent out by the corporate agenda to sabotage and to hate and to throw hate and cause problems and division and so on. It's happening everywhere. It's real shocking for me to hear what that Matt Monarch said about his company, what happened there, that infiltrators have come in and they sent infiltrators out to be hired by their by the targeted companies that want to do better. So hired by the corporate agenda, because the corporate agenda is one big think tank that tries to undermine and sabotage and eliminate everyone on the planet who creates, who empowers people, who makes things better, who creates health, who makes people detox, and all of these things are automatically by default already standing in opposition to what the corporate agenda does, namely what ExxonMobil does, oil drilling, fracking, you know, people who live with electric cars and with solar roofs, they don't need this oil anymore. They become independent from it, which, you know, of course, that is what the oil industry doesn't want, because they want to sell us their oil. And it goes to the point where they kill people. They have killed environmentalists in Mexico from ExxonMobil. I think this is definitely the one of the worst, if not the absolute worst corporation there is in the world. ExxonMobil. The name says it already. The name already has an energetic ring. Exodus. So there's a strong energetic connection between Exodus, you know, the Old Testament, where they sent people out to kill the infidels, to kill the Gentiles, to kill anyone who doesn't believe in their God. And so ExxonMobil is on the same boat with that, because they use religion to brainwash people and make them more gullible, so that they can sell their oil agenda into the religion, directly into it. No one notices that. No, they just regurgitate what they have been told. They have been completely brainwashed against solar energy. I've talked to these people in person even. I'm shocked about this. How is it possible? This one guy, I'm not going to mention any names, this one guy whom I like, yeah, but he's a fundamentalist and he's gay. A short, very, very neatly dressed man, very sweet natured and even funny, but brainwashed to the core of it. He must know that he's gay. I mean, because I've seen pictures of him, but and I support him with that, you know, with being gay, because that's who he is. But to the outside world, he's a minister. He is under the complete whip of his mother. He serves the agenda. He serves that religion. He serves his mother. He's a complete slave, that guy. I want to see him empower himself. I want to see him be free, have a boyfriend. You know, get married in California. He can get married to his boyfriend. I don't know if he has one. He might have one. But all hidden, you know, all tucked away, or living this lie, every day living this lie of this fundamentalist Christian religion, this born again, Pentecostal, whatever it is. Horrific, horrific. And ExxonMobil has 2 feet in that religion. It's the truth. I mentioned solar, and he goes, solar power? Oh my God, that's real. But he says that's horrible. He was horrified. Solar power, huh? I was like, what? What did solar power do to you? It will save our planet. It will save your ass. It will save all of us. But he has been brainwashed by ExxonMobil, by that Christian religion. So he goes along with this, and he completely denies himself, his own life, everything. How is that possible, people? How can you live like this? How can you live a lie? I don't understand. Why don't you want to become aware about this? Why don't you make this leap forward for your own body, for your own selves, for your own hearts, literally, and introspect into this, and look at yourself. Know thyself. Look at yourselves. Look at what's going on. Why do you allow this? Why do you allow your bodies to become slaves to this religion and this corporate agenda? Makes me very sad. Or any religion, as a matter of fact. Any religion. Why do you enslave yourself to any religion? Why do you shave your head? Man, why do you do this? This woman I very much admire. But she shaves her head. Puts on brown robes. Why? Why do you have to do this? The Buddha said we need to eliminate all suffering. I asked them to do something about the baby seals. To do something about it. I'm not even asking for them to be lying over the baby seals like Paul Watson did it. Paul Watson's the only one who's the only courageous pioneer who has started this. And then some other real kind-hearted angels helped him, and Brigitte Bardot laid herself over baby seals, an outstanding woman, and several other people that helped. But the Buddhists that I have asked to help, they can't be bothered. They sent the secretary to answer the email. I'm very disappointed about this. Makes me very sad. This is the truth. Makes me very sad. And I think that I think the reason why they don't want to do it is because they have customers that come in, and these customers come from all walks of life and political affiliations. So they don't want to alienate anyone. They might lose 50% of their customers. So customers over the lives of baby seals. Okay. Not for me. Okay. Not in my life. It will never happen. Even if I have to, even if I cannot, even if I can never make it in any kind of business, if I can never sell anything, my books or art or whatever, even if that's the case, I'd rather never sell anything and alienate everyone. Okay? If that's what it takes. To speak out and say no to suffering. Say no to the brutal chopping of baby seals in front of their mothers. The mothers are crying. They are heartbroken over seeing their babies clubbed to death with haka picks on the ice in a bloodbath. But people put their customers above that. That is not okay with me. And will never be okay with me. Never. It will never be okay with me. Ever. No matter what my life circumstances, it will never be okay. I will always put the baby seals before myself. Always. That's why I make these videos. That's why I have no customers. Because this message is more important than customers. This message is garlic on a wound. And yes, people don't want that. That burns. Because the truth burns. But if you want to heal, allow garlic on your wounds. Allow it to sizzle away the untruth and the infection and the parasites. The ego is a form of energetic parasite. The ego is that what people call demons. That's the ego. We all have it to some extent. Okay. Don't put your ego before the lives of others, the sentient beings, the animals, humans, the babies from all species. Okay? Don't put your ego above them. Put the other lives first. Put that above everything. Put that above any kind of self-gain or whatever the ego is trying to do. So always put the lives of others before yourself, before your business, before whatever people have accumulated or accomplished. Their books, their fame. All of this is just an illusion. It's just an idea. Okay? It's just an egoic thing, that has accumulated itself, and then people don't see through anymore. Look at it for what it is. And the gurus are huge with this. The gurus are the hugest about this very phenomenon. Almost all gurus. Because the ego tricks you. I'm telling you, the ego is tricking you. There are very few gurus out there and teachers who do not fall for their egos, for what the ego is trying to manipulate there. For the way the ego tries to manipulate you, your own ego. Don't let that happen. Look at it. Look at the truth. It sizzles like garlic, okay? But it's what we need. It's infinitely important. And the people in Japan, sticking to their government. The government, they say they use tradition and all of these things as excuses. Well, whale meat was not the tradition in Japan. That came later. Somehow it has incorporated itself through propaganda, just like the Christian religions propagating the oil industry to you. The same way the whale hunting and butchering, dolphin butchering and all of this is being propagated into people's minds as a tradition. And it's not a tradition. It's just a corporate agenda. It has manipulated itself into the Japanese government, and now this is 100% governmentally supported, funded, given incentives, supported to the point where they're willing to go to war over it. It's amazing. It's amazing to me. And the people are the followers again who fall for it and who want nothing to do with environmentalism and animal rights. Most of them, they just they want their they want their denial instead. Then they want the denial over the lives of other beings. And whales are more sentient than we are. So I'm telling people, allow the garlic of truth to permeate your brain and body and all of your cells and your ego. Let the ego be sizzled away by the truth, by the garlic.